What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D. Hey, if you like my content, please subscribe to my page, like, share, and comment on my content. I really do appreciate it. So isn't it funny that at the start of this election cycle, Republicans thought that Joe Biden's age was going to be a liability for the Democrats. And it turns out Donald Trump, the person, and Donald Trump's character is the liability for the Republican Party. I mean, think about this for a second. Donald Trump was primed to run against Joe Biden. Like, he couldn't wait. He already had the nicknames. He had Sleepy Joe. He had Crooked Joe. He was ready for all that. He has seen the policies that Joe Biden has implemented for the last 4 years. He was ready to argue against those. They talk about Hunter Biden's laptop. He was ready for that. He's talking about, batteries on boats and sharks and all those types of things. Like, he was primed to run against Joe Biden. Then they get to the RNC. They went into the RNC with a lot of enthusiasm. And then they brought out the heavy hitters. They brought out Hulk Hogan and Kid Rock, A-list celebrities at the RNC. They even brought out huge rapper Amber Rose. You got Hulk Hogan, Kid Rock, and Amber Rose bringing it to the RNC. Yeah. But they were excited. They were ready to go. I mean, you had people in the crowd wearing pillows on their ear in solidarity for Donald Trump. They were ready to go. And then a day or two after the RNC, after even Republicans were saying, oh, Joe Biden is too incompetent to run. He's too old to run. He shouldn't be running. He should get out of the race. Joe Biden says, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get out of this race. I'm going to step aside and allow Kamala Harris to take over. And then Democrats went crazy. All of a sudden, the enthusiasm for the Democrats is great. And what do the Republicans say? After saying Joe Biden shouldn't be running, then they said, oh, this is not fair. They got rid of Joe Biden. We were ready for Joe Biden. We had prepared for Joe Biden. We spent all this money on Let's Go Brandon, flags and all this stuff. We were ready. We should get our money back. We shouldn't have to run against him. Donald Trump shouldn't have to debate Kamala Harris. So the enthusiasm for Kamala Harris was so big that they started saying, we want Joe Biden back. It was so great. And Kamala Harris literally goes to one rally and a bunch of people show up because the enthusiasm for her was there. And then she chooses Tim Walz as her running mate. She couldn't have done a better job. You're talking about a veteran, a coach, and an educator. Like, the Democrats loved him. So you have Democrats loving Kamala Harris as the choice at the top of the ticket. Tim Walz as the choice next to her. And the enthusiasm is great. It's so great that now Republicans start to manufacture outrage. They're talking about AI photos that don't exist. They're questioning, Kamala Harris's, what she did with the border, calling her the border czar. You have Donald Trump out there questioning Tim Walz's service to the country. Donald Trump, the guy who had bone spurs and didn't join the military. So again, you have on one hand, Donald Trump, whose character and his person is a liability to the Republican Party. So much so that many local Republicans are losing elections because they were endorsed by Donald Trump. So much so that now you have Republicans for Kamala Harris because so many of them are like, you know what? We got to get off this train because this train is headed for a wreck right now. And so listen, the enthusiasm is there. The fact that Joe Biden did the patriotic thing and said, you know what? I'm going to step aside. I've done what I said I was going to do for 4 years, and now I'm going to let someone else take over. You have Republicans in disarray. They do not know what to do at this point. They have no idea. Because if Donald Trump tried to run on policies alone, he wouldn't win. And they know that. So what are they doing? They're manufacturing outrage and manufacturing lies about Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. But I caution you guys, like I always do when I talk about this stuff, as excited as we are, we cannot be complacent. Like, I get it. The enthusiasm is there. It's there so much that Kamala Harris is leading in many swing states. She's leading the polls in swing states. She's doing so well that Democrats are talking about flipping Texas and Florida. But again, do not get complacent. Every single Democrat, liberal, progressive should be out there registering friends to vote. Every single one of you needs to make sure that your voter registration is all up to par. You need to make sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed. You need to make sure that when you go to the polling place, there is no way they're stopping you from voting. There is no way that they are disqualifying your vote. I'm telling you guys, this is very important. We cannot be complacent. We cannot get sucked up into the enthusiasm. We have to understand that we have a job to do on November 5th, and we cannot stop until we get to that date and we vote. That is how we win this election. Period. Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.